Imagine a monk who is 90 years old. He wakes up at dawn in the mountains of Tibet, where the temperature drops below zero. And you know what he does? He sits in the lotus position, without the slightest crunch in his knees, without pain, without stiffness. Now imagine yourself. You might be 40, 50, or 60. You get out of bed, and your joints remind you of the rusty hinges of an old door. Every movement comes with difficulty. Every step is an ordeal. What's the difference? What do Tibetan monks know that we don't? Today I will reveal to you a secret that has been passed down from generation to generation in monasteries high in the Himalayas. A secret that can restore youth to your joints. And believe me, this is not a magic pill and not an expensive procedure. This is something much simpler and more powerful. Stay until the end of this video. What you learn will change your life. Let's start with a story. In 2018, a group of scientists from Stanford University traveled to Tibet. Their task was to study the phenomenon of longevity and health of Tibetan monks. They examined monks aged from 70 to 100 years old. The results were astonishing. These people had virtually no age-related joint diseases, no arthritis, no osteoarthritis. Their mobility was comparable to that of people 30 to 40 years younger. How is this possible? Scientists asked this question again and again. And here's what they discovered. The secret of Tibetan monks is not one practice. It's a philosophy. It's a way of life. It's an understanding that joints are not just a mechanism. They are a living system that requires special attention. The first principle of Tibetan wisdom sounds like this. Movement is the life of joints. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But we do the opposite. When our joints hurt, we try to move less. We spare ourselves. We sit. We lie down. And what happens? The joints become even stiffer, even more painful. Tibetan monks understood this thousands of years ago. They knew that a joint is a hinge that needs constant movement. Imagine a door that hasn't been used for years. Its hinges rust, it sticks, it stops performing its function. The same thing happens with our joints. But there's a subtlety here. Monks don't make sudden movements. They don't run marathons. They don't lift weights to exhaustion. They move smoothly, consciously, meditatively. Every morning in monasteries throughout Tibet, you can observe the same picture. Monks perform a set of exercises called the 5 Tibetan Pearls. These 5 exercises take no more than 15 minutes, but they work every joint in the body, from neck to ankles, smoothly, rhythmically, without violence against oneself. The first exercise is rotations. The monk stands, spreads his arms to the sides, and begins to slowly rotate clockwise. Simple? Yes. But this rotation activates all the joints of the spine. It improves coordination. It awakens the body. The second exercise is leg raises. Lying on his back, the monk raises his straight legs up while simultaneously lifting his head. This movement works the hip joints, strengthens the core muscles that support the spine. I won't describe all 5 exercises now. It would take too much time. But the point is that each movement is thought out to the smallest detail. Each movement serves a purpose. Now let's talk about the second principle. Breathing is fuel for the joints. This may seem strange. What do breathing and joints have in common? But Tibetan monks know everything. When you breathe deeply and correctly, you saturate your blood with oxygen. This oxygen-enriched blood flows to the joints. It nourishes the cartilage tissue. It removes toxins and waste products. Cartilage is a special tissue. It has no blood vessels of its own. It receives nutrition through synovial fluid. And synovial fluid, in turn, depends on the quality of your blood. Poor breathing means poor blood. Poor blood means diseased joints. It's simple mathematics. Monks practice a breathing technique called breath of fire. These are fast, rhythmic inhalations and exhalations through the nose. This technique warms the body from within. It accelerates metabolism. It literally flushes out stagnation from the joints. But there's another technique, slow, deep belly breathing. Monks use it during meditation. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold breath for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts. Hold again. This technique calms the nervous system, and a calm nervous system means less inflammation in the body. Less inflammation means less pain in the joints. The third principle is nutrition for joints from within. Here we come to the most interesting part. Tibetan monks eat completely differently from us. Their diet is simple to the point of asceticism, but every product they consume has healing properties. The basis of their diet is barley. From it, they make sampa, roasted barley flour. Barley is rich in silicon, a mineral that is necessary for the health of connective tissue. And joints are connective tissue. Monks drink herbal tea, but this is not ordinary tea. It's a mixture of ginger, turmeric, licorice root, and other plants. Turmeric contains curcumin, the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory component. Modern science confirms what monks have known for centuries. Research shows that curcumin is comparable in effectiveness to ibuprofen, but without side effects for the stomach and liver. Ginger improves blood circulation. It warms the joints from within. It stimulates the production of synovial fluid, that very lubricant that allows joints to move smoothly. Another secret ingredient is bone broth. Yes, Tibetan monks, despite their predominantly vegetarian diet, sometimes prepare broth from yak bones. This broth is real gold for the joints. It contains collagen, glucosamine, chondroitin, all those substances that we buy at the pharmacy in the form of expensive supplements. But in the broth, they are in natural form, which the body absorbs much better. Monks cook this broth for 24 hours. During this time, all the beneficial substances are extracted from the bones. The result is a thick, rich liquid that can be drunk like soup or used as a base for other dishes. The fourth principle is cold and heat as medicine. This may seem contradictory, but monks use both these extremes to strengthen joints. In the morning, immediately after waking up, many monks douse themselves with ice-cold water from a mountain spring. The temperature of this water can be close to 0, but they do it with a smile on their faces. Cold is a shock to the body, but it's a beneficial shock. It causes blood vessels to sharply contract and then expand. This is a kind of gymnastics for vessels. This is improved blood circulation throughout the body, including the joints. Cold also relieves inflammation. You've probably noticed that athletes apply ice to injured areas. The same principle. But monks don't stop at cold. In the evening, they use heat. They apply warm herbal compresses to their joints. They do massage with warming oils. They take baths with added mineral salts. Heat relaxes the muscles around the joints. It increases blood flow. It promotes healing and tissue restoration. Alternating cold and heat is powerful therapy. It's like a swing on which your health rocks, rising higher and higher. The fifth principle is peace of mind. This may seem like the strangest item on our list. What does your mind have to do with joint health? Everything. Modern science of psychosomatics has proven the connection between stress and inflammation. When you are in a state of chronic stress, your body produces cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol in small amounts is beneficial, but in large amounts, it's destructive. It causes inflammation throughout the body, and the joints are among the first to suffer. Tibetan monks practice meditation daily, not 15 minutes, but several hours a day. They learn to observe their thoughts without clinging to them. They cultivate inner peace. There is one meditation that monks call healing light. During this meditation, the monk imagines how golden light fills his body. This light penetrates every joint, dissolving pain and stiffness. Sounds like mysticism? Maybe. But research shows that visualization actually affects physiology. Your brain doesn't distinguish between real experience and vividly imagined experience. When you visualize healing, your body begins to heal. The sixth principle is massage and self-massage. Every evening before bed, Tibetan monks massage their joints. They use oil infused with herbs. Most often, it's sesame oil with juniper and other plants added. The massage is performed with circular movements. The monk starts with the toes and slowly moves upward. Each joint receives attention. Knees, hips, spine, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers. This is not just a pleasant procedure. This is therapy. Massage improves lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic system is the sewage system of our body. It removes toxins and waste products. But unlike the circulatory system, it has no pump. Lymph moves only through muscle contractions and massage. When you massage your joints, you literally squeeze out everything unnecessary from them. You renew the synovial fluid. You nourish the cartilage. Monks also use acupressure technique. There are special points on the body, the impact on which affects joint health. For example, the Zhu San Li point, located below the knee. Monks believe that massage of this point prolongs the youth of the entire body. The seventh principle is the sun as healer. In Tibet, the sun is special. At an altitude of 4,000 to 5,000 meters above sea level, the air is thin. Sunlight reaches the earth almost without loss. Ultraviolet radiation here is especially intense. Monks spend several hours a day in the sun. They sit in meditation, exposing their face and body to the sun. But there's wisdom here. They don't do this at noon when the sun is most aggressive. They use morning and evening sun. Why is this important for joints? Sunlight stimulates the production of vitamin D. And vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It's a hormone that regulates calcium absorption. Without vitamin D, calcium doesn't get into the bones. Bones become fragile, and fragile bones mean additional load on the joints. Modern research shows that vitamin D deficiency is directly related to joint pain. People with low levels of this vitamin are more likely to suffer from arthritis and osteoarthritis. Of course, in Tibet, it's easy to get sun. But what should we do living in northern latitudes? Monks advise using every opportunity to be in the sun. Even in winter, even 15 minutes a day makes a difference. The eighth principle is flexibility is more important than strength. In Western culture, we're obsessed with strength. We pump muscles, we lift weights, we strive to be stronger, but Tibetan monks think differently. They say a flexible branch bends under the snow and doesn't break. A rigid branch cracks. The same with our body. Flexible joints are healthy joints. If you have good range of motion, if you can freely bend and straighten, your joints receive full nutrition. Each movement pumps synovial fluid through the joint. It's like oil in an engine. The more the engine works, the better the oil is distributed. Monks practice yoga, but this is not modern fitness yoga with its acrobatic poses. This is traditional Tibetan yoga, simple, smooth movements aimed at opening the joints. One of the monks' favorite practices is squatting. They can remain in this position for hours. For a Western person, this seems impossible. Our joints are not accustomed to such a load, but for monks, it's natural because they train their joints from childhood. And here's what's interesting. The more they squat, the healthier their knees and hip joints. The ninth principle is water is medicine. Tibetan monks drink a lot of water, but not just water. They drink meltwater from glaciers. This water is special. It has a different structure at the molecular level. Scientists have studied meltwater for a long time. It turned out that its molecules form more ordered clusters. Such water penetrates cell membranes better. It hydrates tissues more effectively. Cartilage tissue is 70% water. When the body's dehydrated, cartilage becomes dry and brittle. It loses its shock-absorbing properties. Bones begin to rub against each other. Pain occurs. Monks drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water a day. They start the morning with a glass of warm water. This starts digestion and the lymphatic system. We can't get meltwater from Tibetan glaciers, but we can drink clean, quality water. We can make sure our body doesn't experience thirst. The 10th principle is gratitude and positive thinking. This may seem completely unrelated to joints, but listen, Tibetan monks start every morning with gratitude. They give thanks for a new day, for the opportunity to move, for the health of their body. Even if something hurts, they find a reason for gratitude. Psychologists call this reframing. When you focus on what you have, not on what you don't have, your brain starts working differently. It stops releasing stress hormones. It starts producing endorphins, happiness hormones. And endorphins are natural painkillers. People who practice gratitude experience less chronic pain. This is a proven scientific fact. Monks also practice metta, loving-kindness meditation. They send thoughts of love and healing to all living beings. But they start with themselves. They direct love and healing to their own body. Sounds esoteric? Perhaps, but it works. So we've looked at 10 principles of Tibetan wisdom for healthy joints: movement, breathing, nutrition, cold and heat, peace of mind, massage, sun, flexibility, water, gratitude. Each of these principles works on its own, but real magic happens when you combine them all together, when you create a system, when you make them part of your life. Imagine such a morning. You wake up with gratitude in your heart, you drink a glass of warm water, you go outside and do 15 minutes of smooth exercises in the fresh air, absorbing the morning sun. You practice deep breathing. You return home and drink a cup of tea with turmeric and ginger. In the evening, you massage your joints with warm oil. You do a few minutes of stretching. You meditate, sending healing light to every cell of your body. What will happen after a month of such practice? After 3 months? After a year? Your joints will begin to come alive. The pain will go away. Mobility will return. You'll feel 10, 20 years younger. This is not an exaggeration. This is the result that thousands of people have achieved by following Tibetan wisdom. The secret of Tibetan monks is not one magic technique. It's a philosophy of life. It's respect for your body. It's understanding that health is not a given, but a daily practice. You don't need to move to Tibet. You don't need to become a monk. You just need to start applying these principles in your life. Gradually, one at a time. Start small, choose one principle, and practice it for a week. Then add a second, and so on. Your joints will thank you. Your body will thank you. Your life will change. If this video was useful to you, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If we get 5,000 likes, I'll make a detailed video tutorial demonstrating all 5 Tibetan exercises. Write in the comments which of the 10 principles impressed you the most. Which one are you ready to start applying today? Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Your joints and your future are in your hands. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next video.